Okay, we're going to have a look at an app called Cursive Writing Wizard. And before we do that, let's go ahead and have a look at some of the settings. Click on For the Parents to start with. And when we go in here, it tells you all about the app, how it works, all the things you would need to know if you get stuck at a certain point. So that's always useful to have. Clicking on Profiles and Reports will bring up the user, and you can change the user and add users as you like. You can look at the tracing history of what they've worked on, the dates they worked on it. And at any time you can click on one of these and it will show you the settings that were applied and how well they did with that letter. And you can go through those if they've worked on the letters on different days also. And one final thing on here which is really nice, you can view the entire tracing sheet of what they've done so far. You can look at everything and see how it's compared, and you can go from one sheet to the next if there are multiple ones. Let's go back out. Let's have a quick look at settings. A couple of things to look at here. 4 different types of cursive writing: French cursive 1 or French cursive 2, DN cursive and ZB cursive. And then we've got a couple of other settings. Use same font size for all letters. If you like to turn that on or off, we'll leave it off. Game time, I'll show you how that works. You can turn it from unlimited play, you can limit it to 15, 31 or 2 minutes, or no game time at all. And then you can turn sounds on and off as you trace, background music and sound during the game. And then the 5-star play mode, which is very important. Basically how the 5-star game mode works, play mode works, is that 1 star is the easiest. You can adjust all of these settings. So you've got letter size large, you can make it whatever you want, like you can adjust all of the settings like I said, like that. And all of the assistance is on. When you go down to number 5, you'll notice that not all of the assistance is on, and it's a smaller size and so on, so it becomes a little bit harder. And that's how that works. You've got a couple of different things down here. You can child lock it, and then language, either in English or in French. Let's go ahead and have a look at the app. 5 different options: shapes and patterns, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and then my words. If we go ahead and look at shapes and patterns, we'll pick on one. And the idea is to trace that. Now I highly recommend using a stylus to do this and not your finger, which is what should be used when doing apps like this. For the younger kids, obviously using your finger is a great way to start. The game part is where you get to play with these things here, and you can tilt the iPad or you can do it with your fingers by flicking, and we're flicking the Christmas trees. And that changes every time you complete a letter. You can redo the shape, letter, word, or you can adjust the settings. Now this is where you can make it easier or harder. If we go down to the smallest size, with the difficulty being the hardest, you'll see that it's a lot smaller and a lot harder to do. So you get the idea. If we go back in there again and turn off all the assistance here, we'll have to trace between certain points. So we have to learn how to trace from that point to that point. The shape will disappear, and then you have to complete it like that. Let's go ahead and put everything back to full size and easy mode for me, and I'll show you the rest of the app. So we come out of there, go into the uppercase, works exactly the same way. You simply pick a letter.
P.
The nice thing is it gives the letter sound and the phonetic sound. And again, tracing the letter. Going back into the settings, we can turn these all back on. So the shape stays on the picture, and you're going to have fun by throwing these around or tilting the iPad. Let's go ahead and have a look at lowercase. Again, works exactly the same way. Choose a letter. Want to make it harder, you simply change the size so it's harder like that, and you just trace. Working on your numbers works exactly the same, obviously.
6.
We've got it on the hardest setting. If you get stuck and you can't quite trace it, it will show you the pattern to follow until you get it right. Going back in, turn everything on. It remembers each level that you left it on, And let's go ahead and have a look at the word list. So when you go on here, you've got some options up here. It comes with the 3-letter words, and it comes with B, D, and P, often confused letters. You can click on any of this. So if we click on 3-letter words and you choose the word dog. Again, you can adjust the size to be large or small, easy or hard, and this just works beautifully. Like that. Now if we go back out, you can go through to the other words, or you can scroll after you've done one word to the next word. You can also create your own word list simply by adding new list, adding your words, and then they'll be there for you to trace. I created one called Names, Benjamin Alexander, and then School and Home. You can click on any of these, click on Home. You can then learn to write that word. And there we go. One final thing, you can always change the pen color if you like to anything you want. So next time you trace, if you want to do that word again, you can see it's in green. So lots of very cool settings and things to play with. It's a fantastic app. I highly recommend it if you are into pre-writing, learning your shapes and lowercase, uppercase letters, of course, and numbers, and then of course being able to create your own word lists in Cursive is fantastic. So check it out. It's called Cursive Writing Wizard.